Hey everybody, Joshua here for the Way of Quiet Light. So I know I haven't really been publishing anything lately on the Substack, on the Facebook page, or even really spreading the good word. And that's because, I myself, as part of my mental health and physical health recovery, the Way of Quiet Light has been a way for me to indulge myself in more theological discussions, as well as for me to uh, become a bit of a philosopher on some different things. And I've put a lot of thought into how I want it to go. I'm laying out a plan. And today, it's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everyone. Um, I know that everybody is very busy. Things are tight for everybody. So that's kind of why I'm not pushing anything for the Way of Quiet Light right now. What I want to see happen is over the holidays, because we've got Christmas and New Year's and stuff like that in there. So over the next couple of days, I'm going to be asking people, hey, would you like to volunteer for this? And what we're going to do is I'm going to lay out what we want to do across the province and eventually maybe even across the country. And we're going to be getting everybody organized into the different apps. We're going to get everybody checking out their local stores. One of the primary things we're going to do is make sure that people in our communities get fed. Most of our donations are going to be used for feeding people first off. I've often said $100 donation would allow me to basically deliver between 15 and 16 families enough fruit and vegetables for an entire week. And that's right, like $100. With $100, I can basically provide, I would say, your average family, maybe 3, maybe 4 people, depending on how much we can get. That's why I've actually turned it down from the normal amount down to like 15, because that way we have a little bit of extra money to make everybody's boxes a little bit bigger. So imagine being able to donate $100 and give fruit and vegetables to like 15 families. Imagine how awesome that would be, right? And that's kind of where we're going with this. And the entire philosophy behind the Way of Quiet Light is to do these things, to do good things. And one of the reasons why I get so passionate about this over the last couple of days is because struggling with my own physical health issues and my own mental health issues, and the unrelenting nerve pain in my hands, it severely limits me in what I can do. And my own struggles to find help and salvation. If I talk to 100 people, there might be 1 or 2 people that actually want to help. I've got a couple of people that are helping me. My buddy Sheldon, he's really pushing me to get stuff done. He's not as empathetic towards the mental health stuff because, we don't talk about the details on that a lot. He's more into talking to me about what my capabilities are and getting out there and pushing things, and I thought about my conversations with him, and I thought about my conversations with some of my other friends, like my friend Jenna and Dan. They suffered a tragic loss for their daughter. I'm going to be covering Jenna's victim impact statement on what happened to her daughter here on the Way of Quiet Light, and talking about that and dealing with it. Maybe we'll even set up like a live conversation where her and I can talk about these things. We're working on this. We're putting it in. And so I'm building myself a network to help. And I realized through that when you ask for help, people say they'll help you, but they don't really mean it. I lost a friend a couple of days ago because I was asking for help, and my friend offered help and told me to message them. So I did. and their help was basically nothing. And it's not the fact where, it's like, you teach a man to fish, you give a man a fish, he'll feed himself for a day. That's not what I want, and that's not what I want to pass on. You teach a man to fish, and he can feed himself for life. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, I don't mind helping people, but you have to want to put your feet on the ground to help lift yourself up. I myself have struggled with this, and I've had to put my own feet on the ground and start to push my own self up without the help from others, because people don't want to actually have to get their hands dirty. So the way of quiet light and helping people, and it stems from how I view help and assistance and how I view helping others. You should do so humbly. You should do so wanting to help people because you want to be a good person, not because you're going to get praised. Like, we're not going to be giving out trophies. We're not going to be giving out awards. We're not going to have fancy dinners where people say, oh, this is such a great person. Look at how many people you fed this month. We are going to track it so we can know internally how many people we're helping. We will probably congratulate people, but there will be no reward, because your faith is the reward that you'll get. And the act of doing these good deeds is the reward that you should seek. You shouldn't seek to do something good and to help people because you want to be rewarded for it. You should want to help people and do good things because you're a good person who wants to do good things. So as we go through things like different registrations, I am looking at like whether or not we should actually pursue charity status. Charity status, excuse me, people want to make donations. We can offer a tax receipt. I'm not opposed to that, but I don't think that should be the incentive, right? It will allow people to help us out a lot more with things. It will allow different organizations to help out. And it's something that we're really going to look into, because I think we can do a lot of good. And we're not necessarily going to be based only here in Nova Scotia. I want to spread the word across Nova Scotia first, like here in the Valley, then across Nova Scotia, and eventually the entire nation. Because I think a lot of Canadians are struggling, but I also think a lot of Canadians out there are either willing to donate $5 a month. I mean, $5 a month donation. I'll probably round it up to cover processing fees and stuff, or find a platform that will allow us to cover the processing fees. Like if you're somebody and you're like, you know what, I don't have a lot of money to give, consider this. You donate $5 a month. What does $5 get us? Well, here in Nova Scotia, you have your fruit and vegetable boxes for people, anywhere from $3 for one that's not really good, up to about $6 for some of the nicer ones, maybe even $7 for a really fancy one. And you can get a massive, and I mean massive, amount of stuff in some of these boxes. If you say, you know what, I'm going to donate that to one person, then we'll do it. Another thing that we're going to look into is we're going to look into meal plans. I've been working with HelloFresh myself individually for quite a while. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to set up, and we want to set up so that way, like if somebody is, for example, maybe they're sick and they're at home, right? We will organize and have them a box of food delivered by HelloFresh. If we have a free box, then you give us the information. We will set up a free box for these people to get. If you want to buy somebody, like if there's a special holiday meal offer on, and you want me to order a holiday meal offer, not a problem. We can offer people a free holiday. We can offer, well, not a free because we got to pay for it, but we'll do that. And by spreading the word through HelloFresh, they actually give me the ability to send out more free boxes of food. So if more people take it, you know what? You want to try HelloFresh? If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But by signing up to something like HelloFresh, ordering a couple of meals using the affiliate codes that I can provide, it will allow me to pass on those savings to other people. So it'll give me a free box. All I need is basically an email address. I need them to click on it. All they will have to do is just basically give me access to their email address if they want to use their shipping address. We can put our own card payment information in. We can put all that stuff in and send people like 4 or 5 meals. I think when I was doing it, it was like $210 for 5 meals for 4 people. So it's basically 5 days worth of food, and it's really good quality stuff. So we can do through Food Hero and Flash Food and Too Good to Go and HelloFresh. There's a couple of other things that I'm looking at. See what type of promos we can get. See what type of discounts we can get through some of these organizations to help feed people. And then we're going to do things like I'll be publishing more. I want to do some more sermons. I want to have more discussions about religious freedom in the country. We want to talk about more activities. Like if we can sponsor food events where we go out and, go to a school, like taking meals to schools. Like I know the government has a plan now, but if we can make like a donation to help people or at a school, or if there's a food drive that we can help for the food bank. One of the things that I would love to be able to do is outside of us collecting food is us buying these things and actually taking them to local food banks. So local food banks can say, hey, we have fresh fruit and veg. It's available. Come get it. There's no reason why we can't do that. Other things like going down to Costco and, people are like, oh, well, we need toilet paper. We need dish soap. Being able to go down to Costco and just buy a massive amount of food that we can take to churches to have like cookouts or community feeding events and stuff like that. Like if we can do something, then we're going to do it. And if you've got, I want to get some people together, like, if there's some people in the church that want to take on counseling others and having discussions and getting people to meetings and stuff like that and helping people out with mental health issues and helping people with physical health issues. There's a lot that we can do. And starting, well, maybe not tomorrow because it's Christmas, but starting over the next day or two, I'm going to be putting a lot of that on the Substack in different sections. And we're really going to be rolling things out. So if you're watching this video on our YouTube channel, I'm going to try to get myself something more formal to wear. I will be recording the same places I do a bunch of my other content, but I'm going to try to get myself something a little bit more formal to wear. I haven't decided what the official dress will be yet. I'm looking at some hats, looking at some shirts. So maybe I'll get some merchandise. Maybe somebody will donate so we can get some merchandise made up, and we'll get a merch store maybe. And then like I'll design like an official lineup, and we'll see what we can get. Anyway, my name is Joshua for the Way of Quiet Light. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more updates.